Shorthand 1, Lesson 25.
Good morning. For today, we will discuss Lesson 25, Principle 1, Brief Forms. Here are the following words that we will teach you. Let's begin with the word envelope. That's the stroke of envelope. The word EN is represented by the stroke of N, while VE is only represented by the stroke of V, and the rest is only represented by the stroke of L. That's the stroke of envelope. Let's continue. The next one is the word difficult. We can see here that the stroke of difficult has no angle. The word diffy is represented by the stroke upward to downward. For the word cold, it is only represented by the stroke of K. The next word is progress. Which is only represented by 3 strokes. For the PRO, it is only represented by the stroke of PR, while the rest is the stroke of G. Next word is state. Now we can see here that the stroke of state is similar to the street. The word state is represented by the stroke of S and T. The words satisfy and satisfactory is only represented by the first 2 words. Now let's have an overview. These are the following strokes that represents the following words. Still in principle number 1, brief forms, let's have another set of words. The word RE is represented by the stroke R, while the rest is represented by the stroke of KEST. The next word is success. Represented by 3 strokes. The next one's wish. The stroke of wish is represented by OO and ish. The last word in brief forms is under, which is represented by the stroke of OO. Now let's have an overview. That's all the brief forms in lesson 25. In lesson 25, let's discuss further the word under, which represents the stroke of OO. The outline for under is written above the following shorthand stroke. It is also used as a prefix form. As in OO and NETH for the word underneath. Now here is the stroke of OO and TAK for the word undertake. And for the last example, here is the stroke of OO and MIN for the word undermine. Now let's have an overview. I will be discussing the principle number 2, the brief forms of different cities. The first example is New York. It's represented by N, O, K. The next one is Chicago, represented by J, E, K. And then another one is Boston, represented by B, O, S. And the last one is Los Angeles, represented by L, O, S, A.
The continuation of principle number 2, the different brief forms of states. For example is Michigan. Michigan is represented by M and ish. Another one is Missouri, represented by M, O. Another one is California, represented by K, A, and L. And the last one is Illinois, represented by E and L.
Today, I will be discussing about the useful business phrases. For example, as soon as N, S. Next example is to do. Represented by the combination of T and D and O. O and K. The next example is of course. It represented by O and K. The next example is I hope. It represented by broken I and E.
Shorthand 1, Lesson 26. Principle number 1. Long I and a following vowel. Any vowel following long I is represented by a small circle within a large circle. So let's compare the word science into science. So for the first word, which is science, it is written in shorthand as . However, the word science is also written in shorthand like this. So as we can see, there's a big difference between the two I, wherein the first I is represented by a broken circle. However, the other I is represented by a small circle within a large circle. Science is represented by letter S, broken letter I, N, and S. And for science, S, I, N, and S. For example, the word trial, dial, and prior. For trial, it is written as, wherein it is represented as T, R, long I, and L. For dial, it is written as represented by D, long I, and L. And last is for prior, which is represented by P, R, long I, and R. Principle number 2. Word beginning en and un. So n is represented by a horizontal line. So it is also same as en and un. The word beginning with en and un is also represented by n. Example: enjoy, engine, and enlarge. For enjoy, it is written as and represented by N, J, and OI. For engine, it is written as wherein N, J, and N. And for enlarge, it is written as it is represented by N, L, A, R, and J. So the next example is the word beginning with an, which is until, unless, and unfair. Until is written as, which is represented by N, T, E, and L. However, unless is written in shorthand like this, which is represented by N, L, E, and S. And last word is unfair, which is represented by N, F, A, and R. Principle number 3. When in, en, and an are followed by a vowel, they are written in full. In, en, and an are written in full when they are followed by a vowel. It is represented by letter E and N. For example, the word innovation, enact, and unable. Innovation is written in shorthand like this. And it is represented by E, N, O, V, A, and ish. Enact is written in shorthand as wherein it is represented by E, N, A, K, and T. And for unable, it is written in shorthand as wherein it is represented by double O, N, A, B, and L. Principle number 4 is the useful business phrases. So the useful business phrases are more than, we hope, to us, let me, you order, and you ordered. For more than, the shorthand stroke is, which is represented by M over TH and M. For we hope, the shorthand stroke is, which is represented by OO, A, and P. For to us, it is represented by T, OO, and S. For let me, the shorthand stroke is, which is represented by L, E, M, and E. For you order, the shorthand stroke is, which is represented by OO and D. And for the last business phrase is you ordered, which is written in shorthand as represented by OO, D, JAG, and D.